The purpose of this project is to experimentally evaluate the performance of several local search algorithms on two classical problems, the 8 puzzle and the 8 queens problem. The goal is to analyze their efficiency and solution quality under controlled conditions. Key questions. How do different local search algorithms compare in terms of solution success rate and computational cost when applied to discrete optimization problems? A hypothesis can be algorithms can incorporate randomness, such as simulated annealing and random restart hill climbing. Concepts. Local search algorithms, hill climbing, simulated annealing, and random restart and evaluation metrics.
For this assignment, we gathered both theoretical and practical information to guide our experiment. First, we needed a solid understanding of the local search algorithms we were comparing, including steepest ascent, first choice hill climbing, random start hill climbing, and simulated annealing. We also studied the structure of the two problems, the 8 puzzle and the 8 queens problem. For the 8 puzzle, we used breadth first search to compute the exact optimal cost, while for 8 queens, we used the number of attacking pairs as the objective function. In terms of evaluation, we focused on performance metrics such as percentage of problems solved and the number of neighbors evaluation, and we compared these against our known reference cost. For implementation, we relied on the AIMA Python repository, which allowed us to focus more on experimentation and analysis rather than building algorithms from scratch. Finally, we used Python tools like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib to organize, analyze, and visualize the results.
For this experiment, we evaluated 4 local search algorithms on 2 problems, the 8 puzzle and the 8 queens problems. The algorithm tested were steepest ascent hill climbing, first choice hill climbing, random restart hill climbing, and simulated annealing. For each problem, we generated multiple instances and applied each algorithm to solve them. We measured 2 main metrics, the percentage of solved instances and the search cost, which is the number of evaluations performed during that search. To ensure reliable results, the experiments were repeated multiple times and the averages were used for comparison. The first figure shows the solve percentage for the 8 puzzle problem. We can see that the success rate decreases as the optimal solution cost increases. This makes sense because more complex puzzles will require more moves, so local search algorithms are more likely to get stuck before reaching their goal. The second figure shows the average search cost for the 8 puzzle problem. We can see that the random restart climbing generally uses more evaluations because it performs multiple runs instead of a single attempt. And the simulated annealing also tended to have a higher cost because it explores more states during that search problem. The third figure showed the solve percentage for the 8 queens problem. Compared to the 8 puzzle, the algorithms performed better overall. We can see that random restart hill climbing achieved a high success rate because each restart provided a new opportunity to find a valid configuration. And fourth figure showed the search cost for the 8 queens problem. We can see that simulated annealing has the highest cost because it explored more states during the search. The curves for the steepest ascent and first choice hill climbing are very close and mostly overlap, which indicates that both algorithms have similar and relatively low search costs. However, at the final point, we can see that first choice is slightly lower than steepest ascent. This makes sense because first choice hill climbing will stop as soon as it finds an improving move, while steepest ascent evaluates all neighbors before selecting the best one. Finally, the table summarizes the overall results. We can see that random restart hill climbing improved the success rate has improved compared to the standard hill climbing. However, this improvement came with an increase in search cost. Simulated annealing provided strong performance but also required more computation.
We concluded that local search algorithms are very efficient and use little memory, which makes them practical for large problems. However, they do not guarantee finding the optimal solution. We observed that performance depends a lot on the initial state and the difficulty of the problem. Harder instances required more evaluations and had lower success rates. Each algorithm also showed different behaviors. Hill climbing was fast but often got stuck in local optima. Random restarts improved success rates by trying multiple starting points, while simulated annealing allowed explorations by sometimes accepting worse moves, helping escape local optimal. This showed us clear trade-offs between speed and solution quality, as well as between simplicity and robustness. Overall, the main lesson is that there is no single best algorithm. The effectiveness depends on the problem and how the algorithm is configured.
Before we finish, I just want to quickly acknowledge the main resources behind our project. So first, everything is mainly based on the artificial intelligence and modern approach textbook by Russell and Narvik, which basically gave us the theoretical foundation for understanding how these local search algorithms work. Also, for the implementation, we use the official AIMA Python repository. That helped us a lot because instead of building everything from scratch, we could focus more on running experiments and analyzing the results. In terms of credits, this was a team effort, so everyone contributed to different parts like coding, data collection, and analysis. And finally, all the references we use are properly cited in AEEE format in the report. Thank you.